Hello, everyone. So Yankees get another huge win, right? If you're looking at this from a wild card standpoint, though it's very early to start, looking at wild card standings. The Yankees are able to pull out an absolutely massive win. Right now, it got dicey, very dicey at the end there. And quite frankly, there were points in this game where I started thinking of that Tampa game, but they were able to hold on, and really, that's all that matters. Sometimes all that you need to do is just pull out a win, right? Even if it's ugly at points, even if things don't look great, they were able to hold on. Their offense did more than enough to win today's game, and that's exactly what they did, right? Alec Manoah was struggling coming into the start. His best start of the season came against the Yankees, but that Yankee offense was slumping. This Yankee offense is clicking. They're all on all cylinders currently, and the Yankees are doing one hell of a job. So, with that being said, let's get started with looking at some of these comments here. Grippy, hey, how you doing, my man? Hope you're having a wonderful night after this win. Trevor, what's good, my boy? How you doing? Hoping you're having a great night as well. Let's go, Judge. Yeah, Aaron Judge tonight. Aaron Judge was stupendous. Aaron Judge was phenomenal. Aaron Judge is phenomenal. And I said this in the last stream I did prior to the final game of that Tampa series, that third game. I discussed how you're a loser if you think Aaron Judge isn't an excellent player. If you're blaming Aaron Judge for when the Yankees don't play well, right? Aaron Judge Aaron Judge is just unbelievable, right? He had a ball 114.9 miles an hour. To all those people who, were saying Aaron Judge is overpaid. Aaron Judge isn't that guy. Aaron Judge, he went out and he stole money from the Yankees or whatever. You are already seeing people like that. Of course, we don't pay those people much mind, but I do want to call them out specifically on a night like tonight where Aaron Judge goes out and he single-handedly, puts this team on his back and says, I'm going to work 3 walks. And the 2 times I'm not going to work a walk, I'm going to hit a ball into the seats, right? He's an unbelievable player. And quite frankly, I really do. I really do think that the New York Yankees are clicking on all cylinders because Aaron Judge is playing at this level, right? So, with that being said, let's continue with some of these more comments. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a good night as well. Trevor says, can't wait for Luis Severino to return. The pitching is unfortunately going in the opposite direction recently, while the Yankees offense is getting back in the right direction. Yeah, look, I don't disagree with you there. I think you are making an excellent point, kind of quietly because the Yankees have won in spite of this. Their pitching staff has been really bad lately. Things have not looked very good for the New York Yankees offensively. And, whether that's a byproduct of, just regression that you expect, or whether that is an issue regarding, just injuries, right? Like not having Luis Severino, not having Carlos Rodon was going to catch up to them at some point. But, it's got to get better. The pitching has to be better. That's definitely a big takeaway from today's game. It's hard to feel really any other way. But with that being said, I am under the belief that the Yankees are more than capable of going out and having a big day if need be, or excuse me, not having a big day if need be, excuse me, going out and having a big, showing off pitching wise by acquiring some of their big guys back. Again, Canley, Rodon, Severino, even, just having better arms in terms of, and I saw a comment from Trevor that I want to get to, promoting guys like Matt Crook was hurt for a while, not for a while, but for a couple of weeks. He came back yesterday. Maybe the Yankees look to call him up. That would definitely be something interesting to note. But yeah, no, definitely the pitching has to be better. They have to get healthier. So with that being said, let's move on to the next comment here from Grippy. I almost choked there. I saw Judge when he hit his first walk-off home run. Yeah, no, that was an excellent game. And Aaron Judge kind of owns the Blue Jays right now. So, I got to feel good about that if you're Aaron Judge. And he now leads the team in home runs. He has 10, the first Yankee to reach double-digit home runs on the season. So, overall, you got to feel really good about things. You got to feel really good about how Aaron Judge is doing lately. And you got to feel good about how the Yankee offense looks lately. Yeah, no, that was not I don't think that was a fair ball. Thankfully, that didn't end up resulting in a lot of damage, right? If it did, I would have sat here and been irate. Not that I think that umpires necessarily dictate the direction of a game, but I do think it's fair to get upset when an umpire blows a call, especially one like that where there's no replay review that you can use. But one thing I was looking at, the Yankees are actually 9th in runs scored as of right now. Now that's subject to change because there's some games going on. But if things hold up, there can be a top 10 offense by the end of the game, which is by the end of the day, which is kind of incredible to think about considering where they were just a few weeks ago, right? Where they were when the Yankees were in that losing streak, when the Yankees were just dropping games left and right, and it felt like things were hopeless for this team. they're scoring runs once again. Whereas Rodon, I have not seen him play. Yeah, so he's throwing, according to Aaron Boone, he threw the last few days. They're thinking about getting him a second injection just to make sure everything's good with the back. I'm curious to see how he looks when he returns. I'm curious to see when he'll return, but I believe Meredith Marakovich mentioned something along the lines of like, whether it was early July or late June, which isn't ideal. Obviously, you want him back as soon as possible, but you're gonna have to weather the storm. You're gonna have to hope Severino can come back and be that guy for you. He's doing a rehab start tomorrow. And the Yankees need the help right now. So I'm not too worried about the pitching staff just because they have guys coming back. But if guys don't come back, then we have problems. And then that becomes something you have to address at the deadline. Should we call it Matt Crook and DFA Albert Abreu, in your opinion? So, yeah, probably. Matt Crook's been really good this year. Matt Crook's been excellent with the Scranton Rail Riders. Abreu has lost his command. And quite frankly, you can get a lot of multi-inning versatility from Matt Crook. And, here's the big thing with Matt Crook, right? He's a lefty, right? And Abreu's not a lefty. And in a bullpen that has a lot of options that can handle righties, they need options that can also handle lefties. So when you factor all of that into consideration, that's probably the logical move the Yankees should make in the upcoming weeks, or at least upcoming days. I don't think it would take a multi-week stage to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if Weber was axed, though, just because of the fact that Weber isn't really a long-term piece of this team, and it's not like he's a high-ceiling pitcher either. But maybe he can pitch his way on staying on the roster. We'll have to wait and see with that. But yeah, I think Abreu for Crook kind of just makes sense, right? And I think you guys can agree with me. He has like a 1-something ERA. He has a 32% strikeout to walk rate. He's ridiculous right now. Aaron Judge is my king, my captain, my hero. Yeah, he's everything this team needs offensively, man. This dude, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievably great. He's an unbelievable talent, and people need to start just realizing he's an unbelievable talent. He's gonna slump sometimes. He's not gonna hit 62 home runs this year, though. I would love for him to do it again. Just because he got paid a lot of money doesn't make him a less likable player, Judge is the best. Yeah, I think he's good. I mean, yeah, I think he's probably a top 2 or 3 player in baseball. I don't think that's really a debate, actually. So yeah. Glaber cost us a game of King. Thoughts on that? The error wasn't great, but in the same vein, I think the Yankees were going to have to go to someone else outside of Hamilton eventually. I'm not saying that, Glaber made a great play there. I'm just saying, like the Yankees ended up winning anyways. So, I'm not going to get too upset. It kind of sucks to have to use King. I don't disagree, but he was only used for, I'm going to actually check the pitch count right now. Thankfully, they have Marinaccio, they have Holmes, they have Peralta, they have a lot of guys available for tomorrow, and Hamilton should be available tomorrow, but he threw 12 pitches. I don't think he's going to be wasted tomorrow, but again, with the way the Yankees starting pitching is, that is actually pretty important to bring up. The Yankees starting pitching is pretty weak right now. They don't have a lot of guys that can go deep into games. And tomorrow with Herman, you hope that he can give you enough to stabilize the bullpen a little bit, but if he doesn't, then yeah, it'll pop up. But I'm not going to get upset about something that hasn't happened yet, if you get what I'm saying. Should we think about acquiring a starting pitcher at the deadline, as well as an outfielder like Belly or Jock, etc.? I think we should, to be honest. Insurance is good. Yeah, so I don't really think the Yankees are going to get a starting pitcher as of right now. As of right now is a very important thing to mention, because as of right now, the Yankees don't really have, there's not a lot to trade for, especially in May. One of the top options is going to be like Lucas Giolito. That's available right now as a free agent guy at the end of the year. But the big thing and the big picture thing here is that you're going to have 2 guys hopefully return by then, and Montas is a maybe. He should be starting his throwing program at some point. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Yankees navigate the deadline knowing that. And it also depends on how Herman is pitching, right? Like if Herman continues to pitch well, they're not going to feel a need to replace him in the rotation. In fact, I think that if he pitches well, the Yankees are going to feel comfortable with their 6 and 7 starters being Brito and Schmidt, and then getting what you get from Montas when you eventually get him back. Or maybe that's the Rodon role. Maybe Rodon is the guy that's when he gets back, if he gets back type of guy. But it's definitely something interesting. We'll have to keep tracking that as the season progresses and as different guys eventually get hurt, right? Like someone else in this rotation or in this pitching staff's going to get hurt. Someone else is going to have a setback. These are things that are inevitable. So certainly I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Maybe it's not even a big ticket guy. Maybe it's like an Andrew Heaney type, except hopefully not as bad as Heaney was with the Yankees. But yeah, Sad about Abreu. He just wasn't getting the job done. Yankees waited a bit too long to make the obvious move. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would have been smart to DFA him before the season. He was good with the Yankees in terms of just ERA numbers and peripherals at the end of last year, and they kept him around thinking, hey, maybe he can take that second step. He didn't. It happens, right? You win some, you lose some. I think that they should probably move off of him now rather than later, just because Crook is right there. And honestly, I don't want to watch Crook get hurt again before he gets a shot to major league level, and he need lefties. So, I think that's a move they'll be more willing to make with updates on guys like Tommy Canley, who are, still question marks to come back. You can't just DFA a guy without any insurance in your bullpen. And the pitching staff is pretty thin right now. So I wonder if it's a matter of waiting for Canley to come back or something of the sort. But yeah, Nick, my boy, let's do it live together tomorrow night. Yeah, we can definitely set that up. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Oh no, tomorrow's Tuesday. Yeah, we'll try to set that up for sure. I hope you're having a good night, man. Yeah, I miss you, bro. I miss you. If you guys aren't aware, Nick, our boy. Brad Hand still sucks, so I don't really care. Brad Hand's terrible. I'm actually gonna look up his stats right now. Horrible pitcher still. His good luck will wear off. And yeah, he's not a good pitcher, so I refuse to believe he's a good pitcher. And I will continue to hold this opinion. He's a luck merchant. He's also terrible. I don't care. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, he's been good this year. I can't really give him that much crap. I don't know. It'd be really funny if he got traded back to an AL East team and then the Yankees would pummel him again, because that's what they do. And I'm kind of rooting for it at this point. Like, I hope the Boston Red Sox acquire Brad Hand and the Yankees just tee off of him. That would actually be pretty hilarious. But should Donaldson stay on the team when we trade Peraza for an impactful player? If you want to save this question for another live, I'm cool with that. That's a really good question. I wonder what Josh Donaldson's role is after. Like, I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is when he comes back. I wonder what the Yankees do with him when he comes back. I wonder if the Yankees DFA Calhoun. I wonder if, not Calhoun, Hicks. Maybe they move off of IKF. Like, Calhoun's hit well lately, so I wonder if that's gonna sway their position on Calhoun. Because entering tonight's game, he had a 147 WRC plus in his last 7 games played or something like that. Yeah, 7. Not 7, excuse me, in his last 8 games played. So I wonder if the Yankees look at that and say, all right, I think we have something in Calhoun, and then start thinking to themselves, like, hey, we gotta make a move off of Aaron Hicks instead. But I'm a little curious. I'm really curious to see what the Yankees decide to do there. So definitely an interesting question. Again, one of those things that we'll have to kind of wait and see on, right? Because we just only have a month of sample size of data. So we'll need a little bit more before we start DFAing guys. What happened to Albert? Oh, no, nothing happened to him today. We're just discussing, should the Yankees DFA him for Matt Crook, right? And I think they should. I think that would be a logical decision. I think that would make a lot of sense considering the state of the bullpen. But we'll wait and see on that. Marcus asked, what happened to Manoah? He used to own us, and I was told and was top 3 Cy Young. Yeah, so Alec Manoah was just never that good of a pitcher, right? He was just never a top, he wasn't top 3 in Cy Young voting, but he was just never that good of a pitcher, right? He struck out 22.9% of batters last year. He had a 3.97 xFIP, which was worse than league average, adjusting for the ballpark. He wasn't good. I don't think he was a good player, and I never thought he was a good player. So not that he was a good player. Excuse me. I never thought he was an elite level pitcher. He's a solid pitcher, but he's not an elite level pitcher. So I personally, I just don't think he's an elite level pitcher, and I think the Yankees showed that he's not an elite level pitcher. He was never that good. People were fooled by his ERA last year. I was not fooled by his ERA last year. You can check the tapes. You can check the Twitter accounts. Never was fooled by this guy. Dude was just never that good. And we're seeing him finally get the ERA luck go the other way. Do I think he's this bad? No. Do I think he's good enough to go top 3 in Cy Young voting again? Absolutely not. But that's just my opinion. I also have had narratives for that guy for a while. So, kind of been a little bit of a vengeful rant here, because I've always been a Manoah doubter. So I'm kind of happy he got shelled tonight. If a manager intentionally walks batter, yes, it does actually increase your walk percentage. I only know that because I've seen some of my narrative players get their strikeout to walk numbers ruined by that in the start. Yeah, that was just BABIP. Yeah, that sucked. That really sucked. That was terrible. I hated watching that. That pisses me off so much. But yeah, it happens sometimes. Thankfully, the Yankees won. Yeah, we miss Nick too, man. Nick's awesome. Nick's the guy. Nick's the boy. Nick Castellanos, I'm curious to check if he's been good or not. Because I actually haven't checked at all. I haven't. I need to. I have like not paid attention enough to baseball. Yeah, he's hit well. I'm proud of him. But I'm hey, you know what? I can't hate. He's been good this year. Okay. But it's interesting because he has 0.2 more WAR than Javier Baez and more plate appearances. So I wonder if Javier Baez is good as well. Just saying. I hope you don't trade any of our young guys deadline this year. You're going to have to. If you want to get better, you got to trade some young guys. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to trade Peraza, but I think it's a possibility. I think it's a very realistic possibility. But it means you're going to have to move prospects to get good players. You can't get good players without trading talented ones, right? And you're going to have to make some trades that suck or that hurts for you or, that just that pains you. But that's part of the process of acquiring good players and good talent at the deadline. So, yeah. Yeah, no, look, Nick's the boy. Nick's the GOAT. Nick's awesome at what he does, and Nick's always carried really good energy. I'm not as personable of a person. I try to keep myself from getting too animated, and that's just because I'm not comfortable with it. But Nick's always been able to provide that side of analysis and just be a Yankee fan and be energetic. So I miss the dude. I can't wait to do another live with him. Bronx Talks had their 6 trade deadline targets: Jorge Soler, Jock Peterson, Eduardo Rodriguez, and other guys. So just to kind of speed run this, I don't know why my nose is so stuffed. Soler, Peterson, DH, kind of corner outfield guys. I feel like Soler is so inconsistent that I'm kind of like not super sold on trading a lot for him. He also has a $13 million price tag, though that's less than Jock Peterson, which we'll get to in a second. I don't think he'd be my number 1 option, but if he gets to settle for him instead of nothing, I would take it. Jock Peterson's an excellent hitter. Jock Peterson's one of those guys where like I've kind of always wanted him to be a Yankee, and I've always felt like it would be a really good fit offensively. The questions lie in defensively. Like, can Jock Peterson play the outfield at a level that would work? Right. He also is on the injured list. He has right hand contusion. This is his 2nd injury of the year. So as a Yankee fan, already knowing we have so many injury prone players, that could present some sort of a concern. He was a negative 11 OAA, negative 15 DRS guy. So I don't really know. I don't know how realistic. I think it would only really work if you could play stand in the outfield full time. That would be more of like hey, we'll acquire this guy and we'll just figure it out in the postseason. But I'm okay with doing that if it's a rental. He also has a $19 million price tag with him because he got the qualifying offer. So they would have to take money. But I think the offensive fit is perfect, but the defensive fit is a little bit concerning. But I guess the Yankees can make it work. I would want to make it work. As for Erod, he's interesting because he has an opt-out, if I'm not mistaken, at the end of this season. And I'm also going to double check his stats. I'm pretty sure he has a sub-2 ERA this year. It's 1.57. So I wonder if I think if he's available or not depends on whether he's going to opt out or not. And we don't really know that right now, but if he's to opt out, I feel like the Tigers would be willing to trade him for assets. They feel like a pretty progressive front office in that sense. Now with new blood in their new regime, I feel like they're more willing to kind of bite the bullet and say, hey, let's trade this guy if we can't bring him back. So we'll see. Yeah, no, college was a grind, dude. I finished my final assignment yesterday, but thankfully I didn't really have to do my class in person, so it was a little bit easier for me. By a little bit, I mean a lot easier, I imagine. But yeah, college is a grind, dude. Yeah, no, we didn't get rid of Abreu, but I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate the love. That's okay. I don't want to be too mean to Manoah because, like, I'm not gonna be that much of a douche, but it's pretty funny. I'm here to see MLB serve humble. Yeah, no, he needs to be humbled. I'm sorry. The dude was talking hella smack, bro. I mean, he was talking Garrett Cole's the biggest cheater in history. Manoah freaking stinks. Manoah's terrible. Manoah's dog water. He's awful. He's terrible. He's been so bad this year. He's terrible. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he has 32 walks to 35 strikeouts. He's awful. He's terrible. He's legitimately terrible. There's no good peripherals. His ERA is a 5 and his peripherals are worse. He's getting lucky even though he sucks. Like, that's crazy to me, right? To be that bad that you are so bad, to be so bad that you are lucky despite having a 5 ERA is incredible to me. He has the 2nd worst FWAR in all of baseball amongst pitchers, only better than Michael Kopech, who stunk last year as a starter. So he stinks. He's terrible, right? He's awful. Like, he's really bad. The lowest qualified strikeout to walk rate, if I'm not mistaken, it's Alec Manoah at 1.4%. He has the highest walk rate in baseball. He doesn't strike guys out. He gives up a lot of home runs. Like, he's bad. He's really, 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 really bad. And he needed this humbling. So yeah, he's terrible, dude. He's awful. See, defense is important, Nick. We got to respect, because I respect war. So we got to respect defense. But I do hear what you're saying. Some guys are vibes guys, and some guys, just hit bombs, and you got to love them for that. And if Jock does come to New York, yes, I think if he came to New York and they figured out a way to fit him in the lineup consistently, this lineup would be incredible. He hits takes. He also has the pearls going. I love the guy. Just need him to get healthy though. Is Volpe the next Jeter? If so, should we build the infield around him? Give me your thoughts. So he's not a similar player to Jeter at all, in my opinion. The demeanor, the character, I think is similar, but the fielding numbers are better for Volpe. And I think Jeter's a better offensive player than Volpe, or at least a better offensive prospect than Volpe was. So that's kind of the two things there. I don't think they're similar players, but I do think you can build your infield around Anthony Volpe. I think he's an incredible player, ridiculously talented. Does a lot of things really well. And I hope that he can continue to build off of, having some solid performances. I know today wasn't his best. He went 1 for 5 with a run and a double, but if he can, keep hitting the ball hard, I think good things are going to only continue to happen to him. His personality would fit really well with the team. He's outgoing, great guy. Just, I think, I really do think, that he would be a great fit in the clubhouse. It's just a matter of the defensive fit. I would kind of be a little bit against extending both Severino and Bader. I feel weird about it because, like, the injury situations, I feel like you'd have to show me the money first. You'd have to show me the money, and then I'd be like, okay, I'll take it or I won't. I just because Severino's so injury prone, and that's kind of an issue for him, right? And with Rodon in there, and with with guys like Montas getting hurt, and Herman, he has an extensive shoulder injury history. A little concerning there. But I love Severino, so I would want him back. It's just a matter of I want to know what his health situation's at, and I want to know how much money it would take to bring him back. Those are two important keynotes here. They still need to add pitching after that. Hell yeah. I don't like Manoah, so yeah. They should start Jimmy Cordero as an opener more often. I don't disagree. Hold on, I gotta clean my nose because my nose is stuffed. But just not, I don't know what's in the air today. Pollen's bad. Pollen is really bad for me. But Jimmy Cordero should be I think they should go with an opener strategy more often. It doesn't actually just have to be Cordero, in my opinion, but that'd be dope because I like Jimmy Cordero. But it worked. It worked really well. It worked really well until really the fourth inning. Even then, like I'm okay with what Brito gave me. I think Brito pitched excellently. I'm more than okay with what happened with Brito. I'm more than okay with the pitching performance we got today. I'm actually ecstatic with it. Giving up 4 runs in 9 innings at that ballpark is not terrible considering the guys we had to use today and the lack of starting pitching. So, I think it's a good strategy. I think deploying it more often would be a good thing. And I'm all for the opener with the Yankees. And I'm kind of an opener guy anyway. So yeah, Manoah has fewer F4 than everyone in this chat. Everyone in this chat has a 0 F4. Everyone in this chat has been better at baseball than Alec Manoah. So congratulations on that. Everyone, give yourself a little pat on the back. You are better at baseball than the guy who said that pressure is something you only find in tires and tried to call out our ace. So good for us. Alex needed those fresh. Look, bro, I'll take some fresh baked grandma cookies right now. I'll take. I don't even pitch anymore. But I would take those. But yeah, he walked 7 dudes today. He was terrible, horrible. I mean, terrible. Should Johnny Brito's future be in the bullpen? That's a really good question. I can't answer that yet. I need to know if he can develop a breaking ball. When I figure that out, then I'll answer from there. Does it look like he can do it right now? Like with his current skill set, is he a starter? No. But does that mean he's not a starter in the future? Also no. So, I think he still needs some developing in terms of his pitch mix. Yeah, Volpe is more of a fly ball guy. Volpe he loves generating loft. He's a big launch angle guy. And I think that's something that benefits him and benefits his play style. So, I actually really enjoy the way he plays. I enjoy the style of baseball he has, but yeah, it's different from Jeter's. He's not going to hit 300 like Jeter will. He'll hit probably like 260 in his best years, high OBP, high slug, good base running, just be a good player, but never hit like 300, 330, not like Jeter could. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to comment on it, but I'm just leaving that out there. Adding on to Trevor, who's our future in the bullpen? Ronnie and King. I think the answer, Ian Hamilton's a rookie. I feel like people forget this. Ian Hamilton's a rookie. So the Yankees, I think, have 6 years of service time with him. Another guy who I think the future is a future like long-term option for the Yankees as a reliever is Clark Schmidt. I think Clark Schmidt ends up being a reliever, and he's under contract for a while. And I'm not going to give up on this narrative until I'm proven wrong by him being a bad reliever as well. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But Ron Marinaccio and Michael King are definitely those guys. I think Ian Hamilton, again, he's a rookie technically. So yeah, I'm picking him as well. Yeah, Peterson does remind me of Swisher, but I do agree, no extension for Sevy just yet. I just want to know how many innings he gives me this year. I want to know how good he is. I want to know a lot of things before I start talking, even bringing him back in the first place. But yeah, I think Peterson would excel in New York, especially with that short porch and his energy. I think it would work really well. Jameson Tyone gave up 4 runs to the Astros tonight. Last time I checked, yeah, he did not pitch very well today, and that's surprising. That's surprising to me for a couple of reasons. Most notably being that he actually added a sweeper that was supposed to help him, but he's just been getting touched up. He also has dealt with some injury issues, so I wonder if, I wonder if they feel like they're in a situation where, they can't necessarily, whatchamacallit, they can't necessarily, he can't necessarily get a feel because he keeps getting injured. I don't know why I just. Also, for everyone mentioning Bellinger just left the game after hitting the wall on a catch. So, that it looks bad too. It looks really bad. So yeah, that's not good. That sucks. But whatever. That sucks. Manoah being the Jays 5 is hilarious. He's not their 5. He was their opening day guy. So these dudes stink. The dude stinks. The dude's terrible. Are the Blue Jays a bad team? No. But does Alec Manoah stink? Yes. So that's kind of my take on it. But he's their 1 right now. So, I mean, technically speaking, Gosman's their best pitcher. Gosman is on paper their best pitcher and should have been their opening day starter, but that's neither here nor there. Should the Yankees sign Mad Bum? No. Yeah, no, I don't. No, he's awful. He's terrible. Bader for like 3-4 years. Okay, I could do that. And Severino, look, I think I could do those deals. I just don't know if they would take those deals, especially with the way Bader's playing. I don't know if he's settling for that. And if you're Severino, do you want to settle for $12 million AAV? Like Taijuan Walker got the bag. If you just go for a 1-year deal if you're going to go with that low of an AAV and then hit the market again. But hey, we'll see. I'm not sure about Brito's curveball. Yeah, I don't think it's a good pitch. I think he's going to have to work on more of a slider. He already, curveballs are options typically for opposite-handed hitters, and his changeup is really good against lefties anyways, so you need a sweeper. So, if we're thinking movement profiles, you want to get something that he gets around more and he gets more sweeping horizontal movement on. But we'll have to wait and see it for him to develop that. I also love when Boone sticks up for Judge. I think Boone is someone that when he gets animated, I love to see it, right? And even in a 7-0 game, keeping up the intensity, I love it. When Luis Severino was activated, should we send Brito to AAA or Clark to AAA? So I think that Herman, okay, I get wanting to DFA. I don't like Herman. I really dislike Herman. I've made that pretty clear, but he's not going to get DFA'd. The Yankees didn't DFA him after the incident. They're not going to DFA him until he's bad, and he's not bad. He's an above average starter at this point, and the Yankees don't allow starting pitching, so they're going to keep him. As for Brito and Clark, I think you send Brito down so you can work on a sweeper, and then when Clark is no longer in the rotation, you move him to the bullpen. That's just my opinion, but we'll see. Great day. Hey, Nick, it's good talking to you, man. I'll see. Hey, keep in touch. I hope you have a great night, my dude. I appreciate you tuning in, man. Schmidt is great first way through the lineup, but third time he's trash. Yeah, that's kind of why I think he'd work as a reliever. Just the times through the order and the fatigue. Yeah, I just mentioned it. He left with an injury. That sucks. I hope he's okay. I really hope he's okay because he was grabbing his shin. And I'm kind of curious. I'm trying to look at the replay to see what he could have hit. I'm trying to look at his shin. I think it looks like he messed up his shin or he tweaked something. That I'm a little worried about that. Not just a little. I'm very worried about that. So we'll keep an eye on that. Sweetie is he's been good. He's been good. He's good. He's got great on base skills. I got to see him in person in Binghamton. Great player. I'm really excited for him. I can't wait. My bet auto type. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but hey, if you want to clarify it, just so I can understand. What about Ohtani or out of the question for the Yankees? I think he's out of the question. It would take the Yankees would have to trade so much to get him, and you want to trade for him with the idea of acquiring him back, or with the idea of going an all-in push. And if you're a wild card team, it's kind of hard to have the all-in push approach because you'll have to be certain you're going to get out of the wild card round. There's so much variance. So yeah, have to wait and see. But I think it's kind of out of the question. Yeah, Belly's hurt. I hope it's a short stint because he's been killing it this year. He's an excellent player, and it was an unbelievable catch. I mean, Cody Bellinger is an awesome baseball player right now. And Cody Bellinger would be an awesome player for the Yankees. I don't know if he's the type of hitter they need, just because he hasn't hit for much power, in terms of like raw power. So I'm a little concerned about that there. But we'll have to wait and see, right? You know, I want to see a little bit of a larger sample size, but things look really good for Bellinger so far, and his defense, of course, is, I mean, it's top notch. So, yeah, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, I can't wait for Trey Sweeney. Okay. I gotcha. All right. Yeah, I can't wait for Trey Sweeney either. That's my dog. I love the guy. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. Yeah, no, I think first off, Tasty Pasty, how you doing, my friend? I'm glad that he got ejected too, not because I want to see my manager get ejected, but because I feel like it sends this message to the team that he's not messing around. And yeah, you know, I don't want to sit here and say that, like, you know, it's the biggest deal in the world, but considering the Yankees have blown some leads lately, showing the fact that, hey, I don't care if we're up 7-0. I don't care what the score is. I'm going to fight for my guys. I think that lights a fire underneath the feet of this clubhouse and this dugout and this team. You know, they were able to hold on after the Blue Jays started getting some momentum, and they just shut the door in the ninth. So I think that was important. Should we keep Bowers? I agree with MJ Solos here. I love Bowers. I think he's doing a good job, right? I think Bauer's been okay. Is he a great defender? He's very inconsistent defensively, but he's given you a 119 WRC plus so far. You just see how this goes. Don't make any conclusions yet. Just see how this goes. If it goes poorly, you can send him down. It doesn't really matter, but just see what you got in him first. I think there's an upside here. I believe in the bat a little bit to be solid. Not great. It's not to be great. 110 WRC plus. I'll take it. But yeah, just need a good table slam. Yeah, just needed, hey, let's just win this game. Like, hey, let's stop, you know, I don't want to use any curse words, but let's stop, you know, bleeping around, right? You know, let's stop messing around. Let's get the job done. Let's win today. It's a big game, big opponent, and I think that represented that. Opinions on Boone's bullpen decisions. Today, well, he didn't make the last inning of bullpen decisions, if I'm not mistaken, though whoever did, great job being aggressive. I think Boone needs to be a little more aggressive with his bullpen decisions. You know, sometimes he plays to win tomorrow, and I don't love that. I thought it was really bad to not bring in Ian Hamilton instead of bringing in a guy like Albert Ray in that spot yesterday, but I have to let bygones be bygones, right? I thought he did an excellent job mixing things up today. I thought that was a great job. I thought that was a really good decision. And I think I got to give him as much credit for that as I take away credit for the previous blunder that I thought he made. Overall in the season, I thought he's had some head scratchers. I'm not always in line with Boone. Do I think he should be fired? No, I don't know. I know that's not what you asked, but I'm just clarifying. I don't think he should be fired or anything of the sort, but hey, I can't really sit here and say that Boone's been the worst in the world at managing. I just think he could be a little bit better. So I'm a little curious to see, you know, how those bullpen decisions move over time. And of course, I'm always willing to change my opinion and alter my opinion when new information comes out. Does Florial or Cordero have a role on this team? That's a really interesting question. I think that, you know, this is interesting. So I wonder. I don't think Cordero ever steps foot on the Yankees again unless there's another injury to the outfield. I don't think the Yankees would choose to call him up. And as for Florial, I just don't believe in him as a major league player. Yeah, he's put up good numbers in AAA, but he's always done that. That's kind of been his thing. He's striking out more than he did last year. He's walking more than he did last year, but he also has a 453 BABIP. I just don't believe in Esteban Florial. I don't. I feel like I need him to do it at the major league level. And I don't think there's a chance for him to. Unless everyone gets hurt, there's no reason to really bring him up, in my opinion. So that's just my opinion. Do it that with what you will, but the guy swings and misses too much. He seems like more of a quadruple A player, if anything else. And that's kind of my opinion on him. But yeah, so Josh Donaldson, hey, it's been he just hasn't had a good tenure with the Yankees, and it sucks, but it is what it is. I can't really do much about that now. How's Rodon? Yeah, so he threw recently. He's been throwing. He's going to see if he needs a second injection, and if he's not, it'll be clear to keep throwing, and we'll see where he goes from there. But that's a wait and see. William Bowers, his bat can be solid for us, but I don't know if he can be the next Matt Carpenter for us. Yeah, I don't ever want to compare someone to Matt Carpenter because Matt Carpenter was legitimately one of the best hitters like in the world when the Yankees had him. So the way I view it is just be solid and keep it going. So, you know, again, 110 WRC plus. So just keep getting it done. So I'm not a little curious. I think that's something that's within reach. That's not too unreasonable. And if he can give you that, then yeah, he'd be totally worth having on this team and this bench during the season. Good win by the Yankees. Timely hitting work counts well. Pitching looked good. Only bad is the defense in the eighth. Yeah, it was shaky. Things did not look great in the eighth. They looked a little confused. They looked a little bedazzled. Gleyber didn't have the best defensive inning there, but they were able to bunker down and get the job done, which is really not all they need. In a bigger game, you wouldn't want that to happen. But hey, you got to win, and that's really what matters. So clean up what you can clean up in other games. But I really do think that I do think it's an overall net positive for me going forward, not just because they won, but just what we saw from the offense. How do you think the division ends up this year? I think it'll be the Rays are going to win the division, in my opinion. They've just built up such a good lead early on. They're projected to win the division by pretty substantial margin. They have 61.6% odds of winning the division. I think the Yankees and the Blue Jays battle it out for second and third. I think this series will determine a lot of that. And of course that, is going to play a big role in a lot of different things when it comes to the standings in the division, all that, but this series will play a big role in that. And I think that you see Baltimore finish fourth, just being I'm not sold on Baltimore yet. I just think the Blue Jays and the Yankees have more talent. I think they have more pitching. I think they're just a little bit better. They're a fun team. They are a talented team. They are just not necessarily a great team right now. They're good. They're just, I don't know if the talent is there for them to be better than the Yankees and the Blue Jays over the course of a full season, though. We'll have to wait and see on that. I was always a little bullish on them, so that's why I sound a little down on them right now. Glad Florial has a job and isn't homeless. Well, hey, look, yeah, I don't want guys to lose their jobs. And, I want him to play well with the Yankees, of course. I just don't think he's capable of it. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that. Not trying to promote on the YouTube channel, but Boone talks to John Boy on Talking Yanks on Tuesday, and they drill him. He answers a lot of questions. Yeah, no, I admire the fact that he goes out and he's willing to go on that show and get just tough questions and answer them, right? I can respect the hell out of that, and I respect the hell out of Aaron Boone for doing that. He doesn't have to do it, but he does it. So I respect that a lot about Boone. When is Rodon's? Yeah, late June was what Meredith Morakovich said, or early July. So that's what I'm going to go with here because I don't have much more information on that. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to see what questions are here. His defense he has like -3 defensive runs saved and 0 outs above average, which is a far cry from where he was last year defensively. So that's definitely concerning. But the bat has been good this year. The bat's been solid. So I'm gonna assume he's gonna get better defensively. I'm gonna assume he cleans it up. I'm gonna assume he's a little more disciplined. I'm gonna make a lot of assumptions that I maybe shouldn't be making, but I feel like he's earned the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm wrong there. The O's just aren't deep. But yeah, I just think it's a starting pitching issue. Their starting pitching just isn't there yet. But maybe they can, if they add some at the deadline, they can certainly get a lot better. I'm also projecting based on this current roster, if the Orioles make big moves at the deadline, which they're more than capable of, then they can definitely finish like top 2 in this division. They have a really good offense. So, I think the Rays will fizz it out. I can't be wrong, but I'm really not sold. They're still good though. I think it's just it's really hard to blow an 8-game lead. So the Yankees would it would take a lot. It takes a lot to blow an 8-game lead. The Yankees could play really good baseball and still blow that lead. So, hey, I'm not that I'm not under the impression the Yankees are capable. I'm just not under the impression that the Yankees are likely to win the division. Adley Rutschman's so good. He's turning into one of my favorite players. Yeah, he's awesome. I love the guy. I thought he was the best catcher in baseball last year. And he was. So yeah, I was always high on him coming into the season, and I love the guy because he's made me look pretty smart. So I appreciate when guys make me look smart. What can I say? Gleyber's still been at least a top 10 second baseman so far this season. I want to check. I actually don't know where Gleyber ranks in terms of WAR among second basemen. He's right at 10. So yeah, he's been a top 10 second baseman this year. So don't disagree with you there. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the live stream here. It's 10:41. I'd like to start going to bed soon. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys checking this video out so much, or this live stream out so much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this channel with your friends, and we'll see you guys in the next live stream. Again, appreciate you guys all coming on. Love you guys very dearly, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out.